What are the secrets to finding your ideal spouse? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It's a great blessing, alhamdulillah, to be with my brother, alhamdulillah, someone that over the kind of recent times I've been honored to be able to share some space with him, alhamdulillah, learn from him, and mashallah, we're kind of becoming buddies now. I can say that with with a bit of pride, alhamdulillah. So brother Baba Ali, assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Good, alhamdulillah. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for taking out your time, mashallah. I know you're super busy, just come off the back of a very successful matrimonial event, mashallah, where there was, alhamdulillah, many couples or future couples to be, inshallah, that found ideally, hopefully found their ideal spouse. So alhamdulillah, mubarak on that. You're also, mashallah, doing some great rooms on platforms like Clubhouse, alhamdulillah, which is where I've kind of was really lucky to be able to connect with you. So alhamdulillah, how's life going, brother?
It's going good, alhamdulillah. It's going really well, and I'm excited to be here. Mashallah, we've done a lot of great rooms together on Clubhouse and very interesting topics. So hopefully we do something beneficial today that people can walk away with something new, inshallah, to help them on their path of getting married, inshallah.
Inshallah ta'ala. Definitely. So we really want to kind of pick your brains on, because obviously this is where your experience lies, right? What are the secrets to people being able to find their ideal spouse? But before we kind of delve into that, what I really want to start by way of introduction, and this would be a good way for people to kind of know a little bit more about you as well, is that my perception of you is that you've always kind of gone against the grain. Okay, so like, you've always done things differently. And if we look at, from the early days with the with some of the stuff you did with the kids, the Baba Ali series on YouTube, you were the first Muslim YouTuber, superstar, celebrity, right? So like, and then obviously the Ummah film stuff that you've done. So you've always kind of like looked at things from a very innovative perspective and thought, right, now how can I do things, the way I want to do it, not just follow the status quo. And I think that we could get some lessons from that in terms of our marriages as well, whether we're in marriages or whether we're trying to find our ideal spouse, that maybe there's some lessons there for us in the way brother Baba Ali has kind of, strategically gone through all these different kind of phases in his life as a Muslim, right? And inshallah, maybe we can implement that in our life. So maybe we can start with that. Like, what are you doing different, or what have you been doing differently to everyone else?
So basically, I see what everybody else is doing and do the exact opposite. That's my strategy. So if I want the exact same results as everybody else, I'll just do what everybody else is doing. I want a different result, so I want a different way. I have a friend who sold his company for $750 million. And when he went back to his university as an alumni to give a talk, and the audience was with audience of doctors, future engineers, future lawyers, attorneys, all these very prestigious positions, he told the audience that none of you will make the wealth that I made. No matter how hard you work, no matter how great you are at your career, you'll never make $750 million. No one's going to pay you that much money. You are going a certain route, and there are very likely results because you went a certain route. So if you're a brain surgeon, you or neurologist, you will have a certain amount of money that you get a starting pay and a maximum pay. If you're like a basketball player, you'll max out at like 30 million, 40 million a year, right? No one's going to pay you $500 million a year to play basketball, no matter how great you are. There's a maximum and there's a minimum, right? Whatever field you go to, there's a maximum and minimum. Even if you go to work at McDonald's, there's a minimum that they're going to pay you. If you work really hard at McDonald's, the maximum they're going to pay you is this much. So what happened with him is, I want a completely different route. I'm not going to go get my degree, become a doctor or engineer or attorney like everybody else. I'm not going to work in IT like everybody else. I'm going to take a different route. I'm going to take a risk and do things differently. And because he did things differently, he got different results. I'm in a similar mindset. When I started doing my board games, which was the first thing that Baba Ali did, I said, look, everybody's making a trivia game. Everybody, not like some people, every single person, not one person in my life have I met has not made a trivia game that makes Muslim board games. They all make the same. So I said, guess what I'm going to do? Any game except for a trivia game. And alhamdulillah, in my first year, I sold a lot of games. And in my second year, I sold even more games. I sold more games. I sold as much games in my second game in the first month that I did in my first game in the first year. Wow. So all I do is keep tweaking it and try and do things differently. In fact, then I start competing with myself. I start thinking, how can I forget about other Muslim people? Let me compete myself. How can I do it differently and make it better against myself? Like right now with Half Our Deen, I'm not trying to compete with Muzmatch or all these other Zawaj and stuff like that. They're not doing anything innovative. They're not doing anything different. These people are basically either copying what non-Muslims have done and just changing the Tinder to a Minder, like a T to an M. That's innovation. There's nothing new about it. There's nothing innovation about it. So people, when they go and use these sites, they're going to have very similar results as non-Muslims have on Tinder. They're going to get all these people who are not very serious about marriage. They're going to get very people who are like flaky about certain things. And like, where are these good people? Well, what did you expect? I can't go to a bar and say, hey, where are the good Muslim sisters here? Well, they're not in the bar. That's what the situation is. So if you want the same results as everybody else, have profile that looks like everybody else. And by the way, most people have profiles that look like everybody else. For those who are watching right now, and you happen to have a profile on any website, including Half Our Deen, do you have the following? I'm looking for a good Muslim who is honest, who has a balance of deen and dunya, who had that. I can just keep going down. Wait a second, Baba Ali, have you read my profile? No, I haven't. I've read all your profiles. Like basically, I know when I read one and I read 100 of them, they're very, very similar. All of you guys are asking for something that everybody else is asking for, but just changing the wording into your own words. But if you read it, it's the exact same thing. All of you want a good Muslim who's practicing, who's honest, who's kind, etc., etc. Who doesn't? When you guys are creating your profiles, here's your first tip for today. If you want yourself to stand out, write what you want that others wouldn't want or may not ask for. Something special that makes you stand out. Because if your profile looks like everybody else's, why would anyone contact you? To them, it's just like shooting a dart in the dark. I'll contact sister A because A equals B and B equals C, C equals D. You're all the same. You want to make yourself stand out. So show people what makes you different. Now, sisters write these things, and brothers on the flip side don't write anything. You see, brothers, you guys don't realize, here's your tip number 2 for today. Brothers, when I said this in the previous talk, women are stimulated by their ears, men are stimulated by their eyes, right? So sisters are stimulated by their ears. Write something that's meaningful, that shows you the details about you, not what's on your surface. They want to know your details. But when you write, we'll talk to you later, or ask me, well, the website has asked you, what are you looking for? And your response is, ask me. We just did. So why would you want to force every sister to ask you what you're looking for? That's so counterproductive. You know, give detail. And no sister's going to sit there and send you a message. Can you please tell me about what you're looking for? Because if you're not answering the website, why would you answer the sister? And this is like, I don't need to waste my time with you. You don't seem to be serious. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3. By the way, these are not written down anywhere. I'm just telling you from my experience. Tip number 3. Start to understand how the opposite gender thinks. One of my talks I say quite oftenly for married couples is that if you guys knew your power of your masculinity, men, and your power of your femininity, especially sisters, which are most of them are clueless about this, but if you knew the power of your femininity, you can get whatever you want. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifted you, literally gifted you this tool that you sometimes throw away. I know, you know what? I'll just take the man's masculinity and go against him and see what I get. Guess what you get? 0. Big donut. Nothing. 0. Men with you challenging masculinity with your masculine energy doesn't get you anywhere. When you come with femininity, we have no defense against it. You, subhanAllah, your power of femininity, we have literally no answer for it. We are like Jello. We're like the halal version without the gelatin, halal beef gelatin or halal beef gelatin. But you know what I'm talking about. We have no answer for it. There is something about the softness of a woman that draws men in, the kindness of a woman, the love of a woman. You know, this is something that's built in you that, subhanAllah, I can't explain it. I can't explain it in words. But I have no, like when me and my wife argue, as a husband and wife, been married for 20 years, we have plenty of disagreements and arguments. So all those people looking for a perfect marriage, expecting life to be perfect, it's not. Everybody has disagreements, but how you resolve those disagreements makes a marriage work. Anyways, when me and my wife have our disagreements and our disputes, one of the things that she does, the main thing she does when she wants the fight to end immediately, not like, okay, it's going to end in an hour or 2 hours, instantly it ends. She just says 3 words. And it's not, I love you. I love you doesn't work. Why? Because yes, it's nice to feel love, but that's not going to take my anger away from you. That's not going to make me stop being angry at you for whatever you said or done. It doesn't make it go away. There's something that you do that most women, a lot of women, not most, a lot of women don't have the courage to doing because, oh, I wonder how that's going to make me look and appear. I can't look, I need to look strong and independent. Well, good luck on that. But what my wife says is, which doesn't sound strong and definitely doesn't sound independent, she uses the 3 magical words that she's learned to use. And she uses it anytime she wants, and she gets it like that. You know what those magical words are? Sisters are like, okay, please tell us, please tell us. Those magical words are, I need you. And when she says that, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? Right? Because as a husband who has a strong instinct to provide and to protect and to take care of somebody, when you say, I need you, there's nothing more valuable for a man to feel like a man than to feel needed. But women says that they do the exact opposite. They try to show their masculine energy. I'm independent. In other words, I don't need you. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is independent from his creation, Allah doesn't need us. Allah doesn't need us to pray salah. Allah doesn't need that to, this is all for our benefit, not for him. If all of us decide not to follow Islam tomorrow, it does not hurt Allah one bit. It hurts us. So that's independence. All the people who claim to be independent, you're just lying to yourself. There's no independent. Not even men are independent. We're interdependent. Human beings need each other. As a society, look what happened during the coronavirus. When you decide to be isolated in your homes, suddenly everyone's like, wait, I need people. I miss the neighbor. I miss saying hello. I need to just get out. Yes, because human beings were social creatures. Put the worst of the worst, the murderers, the rapists, the killers, the people who burn people, the worst human beings in the world. What do we do with them? We put them in prison. And when they are the worst, and they have a lifetime sentence, they can never get out. There's no chance of them getting out. What is the purpose for them to even be good? What is the incentive, I mean, for them to be good? The only incentive for them to be good is nothing. There's no incentive. They can be as evil as they want. They can start killing all the people in the prison and whatever they want. They've already been in prison for the rest of their life. But one thing they do to hold them against them, you know, the carrot and the stick, there's no carrot to give them as an incentive, but there's a stick. If you become evil and you continue to be evil in this prison, your biggest punishment is what, guys? To beat them? No, they don't care. Is to get alone time. You're going to be sitting in solitary confinement in a room by yourself. And that is the biggest punishment. And when you're a kid and you're having fun and you're misbehaving and the teacher says stop and you don't listen, guess what you get? Time out, naughty corner. And that is the worst punishment in the world. Even though it's for 30 seconds, it feels like a lifetime for you when you're a kid. Again, we learn human beings are social creatures. So all these people who pretend, I don't need anybody, you're lying to yourself. I don't believe any of the nonsense. Why? Because all these people who don't need anybody and all these people who are independent, why are you so independent? Why are you all looking to get married? So in the reality and the truth, after we finish lying to ourselves and we come back to reality, we all need each other. Men need women, women need men. So first of all, stop that lie. When you come with this strong energy that is not true and you're lying to yourself and you're putting this front up to protect yourself from being hurt, and I understand where you're coming from, what you're really also doing is pushing people away. Because nothing sounds more unattractive to a man than I don't need you. So that's the main thing. For my tip as number 4 in this case, is for you guys to make sure you come in with the energy of your gender. So men, you have to come in with masculine energy. What is masculine energy? I know so much, a lot of people in our communities have made the word masculine to a very negative word. Whenever you hear the word masculine, you hear the word toxic next to it. You never hear the word toxic femininity, even though there's plenty of it. You only hear toxic masculinity. So now you're scared to be masculine. And those same sisters who are complaining about there's no good men, are the same sisters who are pushing toxic masculinity, right? So if the word masculinity is becoming very negative, of course, there's going to be no good men, because now men are scared to be masculine, which is silly. I don't care what sisters think. You have to be yourself. You have to be masculine, the good type of masculine, the one that provides, the one who protects, the one who takes care of his wife, takes care of his children, who literally steps up and does everything. When your wife is angry and talks nonsense, blah, 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 you absorb it all. You don't lash out at her, not with physical, not with verbal. You take it in. You take that stress in. You take the load onto your shoulders more than pushing any of it on their shoulders. You don't initiate divorce under any circumstances until it is the final result. Not because you're angry or you disappointed her, or not because today I'm not happy with you. None of that nonsense. Take it out the window and just absorb it. We men can do that. We're built for it. Sisters do not handle stress the same way as us men do. They don't. I don't care what sisters say, they don't. We can handle stress to a certain level more than women can. So when our wives are pushing all this verbal abuse to us, you cannot lash out even with your own verbal abuse. We have to learn to absorb it and keep ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us strong. We have to use that strength, inshallah, to hold our tongues and not to react to it, just in the best of words, inshallah. So all of these different things, and if you have certain characteristics, this is the type of things you want to bring out about yourself and talk about it when you're in a courting phase, speaking to somebody. So as for myself, when I was looking to get married, I didn't do what everybody else did. I did the exact opposite. Everybody else is, okay, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. They want to write all their list of what I'm looking for in a spouse, and this is what I want in a wife. Okay, a husband or wife, fine, that's great for you. Tell me how that works out for you so far, everybody. When you sit down writing your wish list.
This is amazing. What you're about to share now, I think this would change the radar like on its head, 360 degrees. Your whole seeking your ideal spouse journey would completely be absolutely revolutionized. Just if you take this piece of advice on board now, even though you've shared so much gold about masculine and feminine energy and how we need to learn all of that. But subhanAllah, yeah, please go ahead. Like this is going to be key now about how you projected yourself on, in terms of your profile on some of these apps and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I basically told them, if you marry me, this is what you're going to get. These are all the amazing qualities you'll have in a husband. You will have a husband who does this for you and does this for you and does this for you and does this for you. Now imagine sisters are reading a profile of you talking about, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. And they read my profile. This is what you get. This is what you get. This is what you get. Which one sounds more appealing? This is what I need from you. This is what you're going to get from me. 17 sisters responded. 17. Wow. I don't deserve to get 17 responses from sisters at all. I'm not that handsome guy. I'm not no Prince Charming. I have a gap between my teeth. I don't even have the looks. I don't have the money. Like, I didn't have a job when I was looking to get married. I didn't have a job. I had a car that was $1,000. That I kid you not, the engine fell out of that car. Yet there's all these sisters who naturally, sisters want financial stability. They want a handsome husband. They want this. I don't have all that stuff. But 17 sisters are asking me for learn more about me for marriage. Now, guess what my problem is? My problem isn't trying to find a sister. My problem is like, which one do I want to marry? So that became a new problem. Now they have too many sisters. How do I filter down 17 sisters down to one? And I use my own system to do that. And that's when I married 20 years ago. And wallahi, Allah is my witness, I feel like a newlywed till today. She's the love of my life. I try to wake her up with kisses in the morning, sleep for Fajr. I asked her if she's praying. I kissed her this morning, like before she goes to sleep. I kiss her on her cheeks before she falls asleep. That's what newlyweds do. That's why I've been married for 20 plus years. I treat her like a queen, what was written on my profile, I try to implement. Now, this is why so many sisters want to marry. They want someone to treat them with kindness. Now, me, to be honest with you, sisters, many of you, majority of you, 90% of you, I would not marry if I was looking to get married today. Because 90% of the sisters out there seem to be one type. Now, there is 10% of that exception. I'm not talking about the exception sisters. I'm talking about the 90% of sisters. You seem to have the same lingo. Whatever girl has given you advice, you all take that same advice and they all keep you single. No one keeps more single sisters single than single sisters, giving them bad advice. Well, if it hasn't worked out for them, why are you taking advice from people it hasn't worked out for? Ask the opposite gender. I'm telling you, don't even ask. Listen to the opposite gender who's helped 2,600 people through his project have found their other half. 2,600 people, plus himself, plus his friends, plus other people. So something he knows is working. Not your friend who's divorced, bitter, and not happy, and then giving you advice. Ooh, who should I ask? This guy who happens to be the opposite gender, who can tell me what guys think, or my friend who had a really bad ex, who mistreated her, verbally abuses her, and this and that, and now she's going to tell me what to do to get married, even though she's not married herself. And you know what they do? They pick the friend because she's my friend and I really like her. Well, don't complain about your situation because you and your friend are in the same boat. And where are you going down with this boat? Right? You're both, one's in front and one's in back. You're going down the river in Egypt. Which river is that? Called the Nile. The Nile also sounds like denial because you are in the river of denial together. One's rowing this way, one's rowing this way, and you're going nowhere. So what I'm trying to do is try and break this loop, break this cycle, trying to show you guys there's a way to get married, inshallah, but you have to break it. You can't do things like everybody else, because if you do, then don't be surprised when your results are like everybody else. Look around. The majority of people looking to get married are still looking to get married. Yeah. I honestly think if I was looking to get married today, I can easily get married today if I want, even with my age. Even with my age of 47 years old, I think I can still get married easily today. But alhamdulillah, I don't have that challenge. I don't have to deal with that of getting married. And even though I think I could get married easily today, I probably, like many men, would probably choose to stay single. Have you guys noticed that, by the way? Like, who's really the independent gender here? I was talking to my wife about this. The men or the women? Because most of the independent stuff you hear are from the female side. But we listen to the men, they don't say, I'm strong and independent. Instead, they actually say it, show it by their actions because, hey, I'm not even looking to get married. I'm fine. I'm just chilling, playing video games. I'm cool, man. I got my boys, I got my friends. We hang out, do our thing, play some basketball together, play some sports together, play some football together, and then come and yeah, I wanted someone in my life, but I don't want to sit there and deal with all the nonsense that comes with it. If all these women are looking for another type of husband and I'm not that husband, you know what? I'm good. So he's really showing that he's really independent. Like, I'm ready to grow old by myself. I'm willing to be 70 years old and be by myself. And there's many men that will end up like that in the past and now. But women in general never had to worry about things like that. Now they do. Absolutely. So,
mashallah, mashallah, you're sharing golden nuggets as always, Brother Ali. Can you possibly just maybe elaborate a little bit more? You said that that when you set your profile up, it was about how you can give, right? So what kind of things are you saying? Like, obviously this is personal, like,
that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, look, these are the things I expect from my wife. I don't want to change my wife. I don't want to attract somebody that is not like, if I was writing a profile today, I'll say, look, I'm not trying to make a sister who wants to work and have a career. Fantastic. I'm not the husband for you. I'm looking for a sister I can spoil. I'm looking for a sister that I will work 1, 2, 3 jobs so you don't have to work any. So when I come home, you are stress-free, right? You are relaxed. You enjoy your life. You have the enjoyment of many people, which like people like myself work so hard to get to a point of retirement. You can retire. Do the things, the small things in life that you enjoy. You like gardening? Go outside and garden. You like this? Do that. Do stuff you enjoy. At the same time, you do stuff that's beneficial, right? So if you like learning another language, learn another language. Like my wife, I wanted someone who is more family oriented, someone who wants to have kids, not forced to have kids because of me. Okay, fine, I'll have kids for you. No, I don't want that. I don't want you to be ever forced in a situation where you don't want to be in. That's not the right way of doing things, right? I'm not here to change you. Instead, I'm looking for someone who has the same aligned thinking as I am and same aligned goals in life. Someone who's family oriented, who wants to have children, who doesn't look at the idea of being a mother or being a housewife as a negative thing. And it's actually a very prestigious thing, right? Everyone says, okay, you're in this society, they say you are valued based on how much of a degree you have and how much money you make. Who do you think pushes this idea? Where do you think these ideas actually come from? Really, do you really want us to look at you, okay, because you have a PhD, or you're a dentist or a doctor or a psychologist or whatever you are, I should think, oh, Marshall, you're a very good sister? No, that's nothing to do with it. On the day of judgment, the people who are attorneys versus the person who's a garbage man, there's no difference in lines of the attorneys will be here and the garbage men will be here. No, it's your Deen that's going to divide you. Your belief is going to divide you. That's it. All the ethnicities and all the things we're so proud of is all nonsense, right? So when we take a sister in this feminist movement that pushes the idea that, hey, choose any career you want, but don't make sure you don't become a housewife because then you're demeaning other women. No, if it's truly empowering women, then let them choose anything they want. So do not ridicule somebody because they choose to raise a family. So I wanted a sister who had a strong mind that didn't care if the entire world was against her and says, look, my goal is to raise a family. If people don't like it, that's their problem. That's what I value. I said, perfect. That's what I value too. So what else do you want to do? I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to learn these things. Great. I want you to be able to learn those things. In order to learn those things, you need time, right? So if you want to focus on yourself, if you want to learn languages, if you want to do whatever you want to do, you need that time. You don't need all the stress from day-to-day job. You don't need to worry about like how we're going to pay rent and how we're going to pay food. I want you to be comfortable. My money is 100% your money. I want, this is all work is for you. Like I'm here to take care of you. That's what I want. And me taking care of you makes me feel like a man. You doing your own thing and have your own thing, we're like two roommates. That's why do I need to get married for? Oh, so you can go on trips together. No, that's what you want to get married for. That doesn't benefit me. That benefits, I'll go trips with my friends. Why don't I go trips with you? So if I don't have a wife, I go with a bunch of buddies to go on trips. Bunch of single guys going on trips. But we don't need that same feeling because see, bro, this is the thing that a lot of people, we don't realize and we don't want to say it. And I was talking to I can have these very candid conversations with my wife, by the way. She's not sensitive towards it. Maybe that's why I've become so insensitive when I'm talking some of these things, because I can be very direct with her and she can be very direct with me. So like this idea, if I ask her who gives and who receives in a relationship, most 99% of the time, men are the ones that are supposed to be giving and women are the ones that are generally receiving. So when men go and work, we are giving all our wealth, everything to the family. When a woman works, she can keep it for herself. If she chooses to, she can give, but generally that rule is for her, is up to her to keep it for herself. Men don't have an option. When men have to protect their wife, the wife doesn't have to protect the husband. Our duty is to protect the wife. We are again giving. What are we giving? We're giving possibly our life to protect my wife. That is 100% on me. She doesn't have to give her life to protect me. I have to literally give my life, give my wealth. I mean, what else do I have left? My health? Give my health too. I mean, and then at the same time, I'm giving. What am I receiving in return? This is the number one thing that you guys, sometimes people don't realize. I want a husband who has this. Okay, fantastic. What does he get in return? And every single time I've asked this question, it is literally like a deer in headlights. Ding, ding, blink, 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 blink. It's like, so you haven't thought, I really haven't thought about it. Really? So you're so busy writing a wish list out, you haven't really thought about, okay, what do I provide? Well, then I asked another question. Does he have to compromise anything for marrying you? Do you have any faults that you come with? I said, yeah, I have many. Okay. Are you okay with accepting faults in a husband? Well, I don't really feel comfortable with that. It's kind of hard to do. Okay. So you want to marry someone that's all your wish list, doesn't miss any check boxes, maybe one, but you want the rest of the 17 things on your checklist. So you're not really willing to compromise, but you're asking that same person with all these characteristics has to compromise to marry you. And you're saying you have many faults, many shortcomings. You know, the things that are important to a wife are not important to a husband. The things that, like me, I understand. I have to be a provider, protector. I have to take care of, I have to be successful at what I do. I have to be ambitious. I have to work hard. I have to be strong. I have to be independent. I have to be emotionally stable. I have to be willing to withstand when my wife gets emotional and not take it personal, blah, 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 blah. I have to do all that stuff, right? I have to take that stuff in, all of it in. What am I asking in return for a wife? Things that my wife thinks, okay, well, I'll be strong and independent. No, I don't need you to be the man. Otherwise, I'll marry a man. So what I need from you is the other side of it that you don't find important, right? Because I don't find these things important for the thing. So there's things that I find important that you don't find important, and vice versa, right? I don't care if you're successful. I don't care how much money you bring in. I don't care about this stuff. I need you to take care of yourself. How many sisters right now looking to get married are overweight? Not a little bit, a lot. But they're wondering why no one's interested in me. Yet the men who are looking will never, ever tell the sisters, that's not the reason I'm choosing you. Yet the sisters are way overweight. Look for a brother at your same height as you, and I can almost guarantee you, you most likely weigh more than he does. So if you're 5'3" and you weigh X amount of pounds or kilograms, and you find a brother who's 5'3", I can almost guarantee you he weighs less. Why? Because I don't value that. Man shouldn't look for that. He should look for me for my personality and my this and my degree. Okay, that's if a woman's marrying you, but a man's marrying you. So he's not, instead of asking for all those other things, he's asking for simple things. He's happy for you to take care of yourself, try to eat healthy, try to get exercise, don't overeat. That's so much simpler than me going to get a 6-year degree, 8-year degree in a university and get all the paperwork. And then after all that, by the way, man who does marry you for all those things, guess what he wants? Half of your money. Well, why are all these guys asking for 50-50? Well, that's what you were prestigiously pushing. That was when you were in the courtship phase. Oh, let me tell you about what I did. I have this. I make this much money. Okay, fantastic. Okay, mashallah. Can you just please sign here, initial. What is all this? Oh, this is 50% of everything you'll be making for the rest of your life. To me, he's like, when he's rubbing his hands slowly like this, see, when he rubs his hands quickly, he's cold. But you rubbing hands slowly when you're talking about your degree and his eyebrows go like this, oh, he's not looking at you, my friend. He's looking at your degree and how much money you're going to bring in. The same husbands that you're like, oh. You know, it's funny. I was talking to the sisters at a matrimonial event just recently. When the matrimonial ended, I asked them, are men intimidated by your success? Because they're like, oh, all men are intimidated by men. Okay. If all, let's just hypothetically say, all men are intimidated by women's success. I asked the sisters, would any of you marry someone that's intimidated by your success? And all of them said no. So therefore, you're saying no man is marriable. And they just stood there like. So if what you're saying is true, there's no person in the world you can marry because all men are intimidated by you. And you wouldn't marry someone that's intimidated by you. Do you see how this doesn't work?
Yeah. There's definitely an imbalance there. I mean, I talk so much about depolarization, right? Which is everything that you mentioned today, right? Where there is this lack or imbalance of the masculine and the feminine energy. And, you know, sometimes it might be the man who's bringing more feminine energy. And sometimes a sister, like you mentioned, she may bring some masculine energy to the relationship, but you need a balance of the two, right? Ideally, you know, it's good to get the each gender bringing their very natural energy to the relationship. But if there's depolarization, like marriages, from what I've seen, they don't end because of a lack of love. It's like most of these people that got married, they actually did see something good in one another, right? But it's depolarization which causes marriages to end. And I don't think there's enough people talking about this in the way that you mentioned. So I think you've really kind of touched upon some really key things, and I really love some of the things you mentioned about what you told that you're
gonna get a lot of heat because of me. I apologize ahead of time because maybe some of your viewers are not used to listening to someone like me because I say things like it is, and that can be troublesome for some people because they're not used to hearing it. There's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about. The last matrimonial event that I just did this weekend, there's a sister who approached me and asked me a question, and she said, Ali, can I take you to the side and ask you a question? I said, sure. And she said, I said, what is it? She said, what was her exact words? She said, I'm 35, looking to get married. And the audience, I'm not gonna say which sister it was, so there's no backbiting, but the people I'm looking for is between my age, very similar, very close to my age, like 35, 36, 37, maximum 40. I said, okay, I haven't been able to find anybody. Okay. Can I ask you a question? Sure. By the way, I always try to show by questions and by interactive through activities rather than me just telling them, for people to have self-realization of what's going on. So anyway, I asked her a question. I said, if you were a man, how old would you have to be to look for your age of a 35-year-old sister? Her immediate response, not, okay, let me think about it for a minute, immediately was 45. So you're saying if you're a 45-year-old man, then you will start doing a search on a website for 35-year-old sisters. So yeah. So do you see what the problem is? You're 35, you're looking between 35 to 39, maybe 40. But the men who are close to your age are not looking for a 35-year-old sister. The 45 is looking for you, but you're not looking for 45. So therefore, A wants, this is a mathematical equation for all those mathematicians out there. A wants B, B wants C, and C wants A. So the 35-year-old sister wants that 37, 36-year-old brother, right? But that 36-year-old brother wants a 29-year-old sister. And the 29-year-old sister may want somebody that's whatever, who knows? This is a cycle of everybody wants something else.
Yeah.
So if you truly want to get married, you have to be realistic and not look at what you want. You have to see what is the opposite gender that I'm attracting, looking for. And sisters, what they don't tell you, and I've spoken to 4 people or 3 people in the last couple of days. What I've discovered that a lot of people, sisters, have no idea. Every single sister I've spoken to in the last 4 days has zero idea that people in their close to their similar age are not looking for their age. So if I'm a 33-year-old man, brother looking to get married, it is basically impossible for me to do a search for 33-year-old sisters. I'm not looking for that range. But she's like, why not? That's what I would be looking for, because you're a sister. Again, you're looking through your lens. A 33-year-old man is looking for like a 23-year-old sister. Be like, well, that's not what I would want. You're not a man. You're a woman. You would marry someone 5 years older than you. A man generally don't look at 5 years older. Doesn't mean they won't happen, but generally they don't look. If there are exceptions, of course there are. But generally, if I'm a man who's 31 years old, I'm not on a website searching, let me search 38 and above. It's not why. But the sister's like, I don't get it. It's funny, every single sister's like, huh? Because we're looking through our lens. So naturally, if you don't have the ability or the understanding to see through the opposite lens, and men do the same thing, by the way, they see through their lens, right? So they really, really value physical attraction so much so they focus on their own physical attraction rather than their own success, rather than their own education, working on a job to pursue to make themselves more successful. They don't focus on that as much as they do on their physical attraction, because they think the sisters, if you have enough physical attraction, they'll think that the sisters will give you a pass on everything else, because men will give you a pass and women don't do that. And men are confused. I don't get it. So I have a 6-pack and she's not going to marry me because no, you have no job. You have no education. You didn't even go to university. You're focusing on your 6-pack. They don't care as much as you think you care.
Yeah.
You care if the sister has a perfect body. You don't care if she works at the local grocery store. You'll marry her. If she's beautiful, practicing sister who works at the local grocery store, has no degree, no education. Shez, would you have married her? You wouldn't marry her. She would have to have a certain degree for you.
Sorry, what was the question again? So
the question is, if you met a practicing sister, let's say you were single. I don't know if you're single or married, but let's say you're single. The sister is a practicing sister, right? And she's beautiful. She's in shape. She takes care of herself, and she works at the local grocery store as a cashier. She does not have a degree. Would you consider her for marriage?
Definitely.
There you go. Sisters, ask yourself this question. The brother has no degree. His job is a cashier at the grocery store. He has a strong body and he's handsome. Would you marry him? And I can almost guarantee you, most sisters are like, no, thank you. Because we want different things. What happens is when you're getting advice from your female friends, they're going to see through the female lens. Oh, this is what men want. They're not men. They're your female friends. Similarly, when the men get advice from their male friends about women, bad advice. Event after event after event after event that I have done for matrimonial events, including the last one. Individual emails are sent to brothers telling brothers, dress up nicely for the event. Women find men who appear successful more attractive than a guy who dresses down, who doesn't look like he cares. Guy wears a t-shirt, a hat, walking around like this. Like, I'm too cool for this place. I came because, you know what? Just to check it out. When you come in like that, sisters are not interested in you. They're not even giving you a chance to speak. And what men think is, look, as long as I act kind of cool, the girls will like me. No, they don't. When you dress down, to you, you think it looks like I'm not desperate because all those guys are dressed in suits. All those girls like, what losers, right, guys? Right? And the girls are like, no. Girls look at the men who are dressed nicely, and this is something men don't understand. Just like I've been talking about all that independent stuff with the garden sisters. This is something, sisters, let me go on the men for a second. They have no idea. They're clueless when it comes to this. Clueless. Men are literally clueless. They don't understand the more you dress up, the women do not look at you as desperate. I have never met one sister, not a Salafi, not a Sufi, not a Hanafi or a Shafi. I've met never a sister, not one who's super liberal, progressive, not one with attitude, not with someone Muslim like this, not one with niqabi, everything. Not one sister has ever told me the man who's really dressed up looks desperate. Not one. 35 events, not one. 12 years of doing this, not one.
MashaAllah.
But men continuously say it. In fact, I've been on Clubhouse where the guy is saying it on stage to tell men, yeah, definitely, that's you thinking that way. You can look at the other guy, wow, that guy's desperate. That's not how women are thinking. And who cares what you think? You're not going to marry the guy. While you're saying this, like, look at this guy, this guy is the same 5 sisters are interested in him for marriage. So what women see when men dress nice is like, this guy is serious. This guy is really looking to get married. Not the guy who is coming in flip-flops and sandals. Who are you? Sisters, like, they don't even give you they don't care what you do. They don't care what you say, like, whatever. You could be a handsome guy and all this other stuff. They don't care. They're like, this guy's not even serious about getting married. I'm looking to get married now. I'm not here to play games with people. And that's how sisters think. And your appearance shows how much time and effort you put into it and how serious you're taking this engagement. I asked the same question to your brothers. You ask them, if this was a job interview and they're paying you $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 per year, how would you dress? Would you come in those same t-shirt and jeans? 100% guaranteed you wouldn't do it. If you're invited to go speak to your prime minister of your country, would you dress the same way you did? No. Oh, but for marriage? I'll just dress down because I look desperate. Well, you look desperate when you once spoke to the prime minister, right? Oh, you didn't. Exactly. So the idea is we get a lot of bad advice, and this bad advice comes from men, by the way. Men giving men bad advice. You don't know how women think because you're not a woman. This is why it's important to understand from a female's perspective of how they think, so you know how. So going back to our final tip here, is that how you're writing your profile, how you're talking in the courtship phase, you have to understand how the opposite gender thinks, what their wants are, what their needs are, so you can address it rather than addressing it what you think is important. And if you're going to sit there and be in la la land, jump in the boat with the other 2 people because they're rowing all the way in the river in the Nile. You can be in with them, and that's called the waiting list. Not the marriage list, the waiting list. The sitting on the waiting list like everybody else, hoping that one day somehow out of thin air, someone's going to come and marry me with all this nonsense ideas that I carry. It's nonsense.
Yeah, powerful stuff. MashaAllah. How are we doing for time, bro?
We're good, alhamdulillah.
Okay. Couple of things I want to kind of run past you here. So you've talked about your event, and before we came live, you were telling me about how successful the event was, and there was a lot of people that actually found their kind of match. So was it 21? I think you said.
Yes.
Which is a very, mashallah, very, very high amount for like a single event, right? So
Yeah, 77 applied for, 69 got into the event. Of the 69 that got into it, there was 21 matches, not 21 people, because a match takes at least 2 people to make a match. So yeah, so it's quite successful for people to come for the event, and a lot of people, they're just happy if there's 1 or 2 matches, 3 matches. For us to get that many, it's a thing. And I just heard the other day about another group that husband, a guy and girl might be very close to getting married at our December event. So sometimes the marriages take the time for them to, like, you know, obviously you have to go through the courting phase and you go through the parents and the wedding days and all this stuff. One of them is moving and fast forward. It's not normal in less than 2 months to start talking about, like, let's get ready for marriage and do the plan out the nikah and stuff like that. So alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So I think there is an accusation, so we, you know, shall we say, and you touched upon it earlier, made against you that you are, and I think today you were very balanced. You know, you talked about issues that sisters have to work on and the brothers. But as you know, there are people who say that Baba Ali is like, you know, he, you know, just says things, you know, which are very, very unfair towards women, right? So, and gives the sisters a hard time. Okay, you've kind of touched upon and answered it already, but I guess let's just get this one out in the open and
sure. Yeah, I'll address it. So I have 2 daughters. One's in college. The other one's planning to go to college even early. That's her goal. So all this Baba Ali doesn't like university, well-educated sisters and stuff like that. And they're going to very tough positions. So what they're doing, I have a wife. This is 3 females. I have a mother, 4 females. My closest person in my life is even closer than all those people. The closest person who taught me Surah Fatiha was my grandmother. So all of these people, the closest people in my life, right, are women. How can I hate women or dislike women or whatever mumbo jumbo? The reason why women sometimes, some sisters, not all sisters, some sisters are vocal about, like, oh, Baba Ali this, Baba Ali's accusations, is because I am the only one. Look online, look on Clubhouse. I'm the only one that holds women accountable. And sisters don't like that. They like it when you say, oh, men need to step up. Yeah, our men are, I ask questions that they don't want to hear about. Instead of you talking about your ex and your this and that, I ask questions, and I'm not accusing you of anything. I ask questions like, okay, I understand your ex was super evil, but didn't you pick him? That's offensive. No, it's not. That's you. You chose him. So what does that say about your choosing skills? Maybe the next time you get married, you have to do things a little bit differently, because if you follow the exact same processes you did before and you didn't learn anything from it, and you ask the same questions that you did before, you're going to fall into the same trap as you felt before. That's number 1. Number 2, every marriage, no matter how bad the wife is or how bad the husband is, whoever is at fault, it takes 2 to tango. So it's not just 100% of the idea to blame one side. Everybody deals with somebody else. If they weren't like that when they got married with you, right? Male or female, whoever I'm talking to right now, your ex who happened to be a female, your ex happened to be a male, you married them that weren't like that. You guys did things and said things to each other that was verbal abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse, emotional abuse, blah, 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 back to each other. And then one reacted and went outside the boundaries, which they shouldn't have. And the other one crossed the boundaries they shouldn't have. And they go back and forth until someone initiates divorce. It doesn't, like, one day the person wakes up to be super evil. That doesn't make sense. That storyline that people are trying to shift and to make myself the victim so everyone feels sorry for me may work for other people. It doesn't work for me. Yeah. So what I've learned from all this, brother, is that when I hear all this stuff, it's actually helped me create more questions to add to Baba Ali's questions, which I give people. And one of the new questions I add is what part of your divorce were you responsible for? What did you learn through your actions that you could improve on? But let me tell you about my ex. I don't care about your ex. I'm not marrying your ex. I don't care whose fault it was. Leave that judgment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm marrying you. So I want to know, what was your part in all this? And if you just come back and say, well, I did nothing wrong, I'm 100%, everything I did was right, that tells me you have A, no self-awareness, B, no self-critical thinking ability, and C, you didn't learn anything. So you didn't grow from this. So if I marry you, I'm gonna make the same mistake your ex did. No thanks. This is somebody else's problem. Next. So I would move on to, I'd much rather hear from sisters saying, if I was speaking to, and by the way, the only reason I'm saying sisters because I can't marry a brother. So I would say I would much rather, and you can flip the script and just imagine if I can say, if I was a sister, I would say a brother. So I'd much rather hear the person say, well, my ex, for whatever they were, I don't want to talk bad about them. That showed me, wow, this must show this person has some class and has some self-control. Second, they will say, what I learned from my experience is maybe there are certain things I could have done better. I could have, instead of reacting to them, I should have done this. And instead of doing this, I shouldn't this. I shouldn't, certain things I should have not said, and they took me outside of my character, and that's not me. I let someone get to me, and I don't want that ever to happen again. So what I would do in the future, if this similar thing happened up, this is how I would deal with the situation different. This tells me the person has learned from this experience, not just going through the experience. It's almost like someone who went through a car accident. And when they go through the car accident, you know what? I think I was like constantly pumping my brakes really hard, and that's why the person crashed into me in the back. Like I do that as a bad habit. I'm tailgating the car in front of me, so I'm really close to their car, so I'm constantly pumping my brakes. That's why maybe the person hit me from behind. So maybe I should give a little bit more distance between the car in front of me and behind me, so the person has more time to brake. Wow, you've learned from this issue. Even though it wasn't your fault because the person hit you from behind, you will learn that maybe something minor things I can do to kind of avoid this in the future. But if you come in and tell blame, I don't really want to hear it. Because when I get married to you, this person who mentally, emotionally, whatever, has really hurt you, I feel like all that pain is going to come on me. That baggage, those pieces of luggage that you're carrying with you, that's coming into the marriage with it. I don't want to take the whole package. Why would I deal with that when I can deal with somebody that doesn't have any of the baggage? So if you want me to consider for marriage, show me that you've moved on from that. You've learned from that, instead of that being your definition. A lot of times I come here on Clubhouse, this is how people define themselves in rooms. Oh, I'm a survivor from an abusive relationship. And that's how you want to introduce yourself? Like, just because I had a car accident doesn't make me a bad driver, right? Just because you went through a divorce doesn't make you a bad driver. So it's just something that happened to you, right? So you were driving and a car hit you, which means like, oh, I married someone that happened to be a bad person, or I was the bad person. Whatever the situation is, did you learn from that accident? If you did, then maybe you could actually become a better driver now than you were before. But problem is that we have so much of the blame on other people. When finally someone comes and asks you, hey, you should be accountable as well. Now, wait a second. Let's push this. This guy is evil. This Baba Ali guy. This guy is trouble. Because I'm going against their agenda. But guess what? Your agenda's kept you single.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to break that cycle. I don't care about who did what to each other. I don't care. And by the way, the reason why I have this freedom to speak like the way I do is because I'm already married. Like, I'm not trying to marry any of you. You have no idea how many messages, people that send me messages on the back channel that send me messages, brother, thank you. I can't say what you're saying. Like, if I say what you're saying, they will label me and they can't get married. You get blacklisted from the sister group. But for me, it's kind of like, I can say it. I don't need to marry any of you guys. I don't care if you guys don't like me, or he's not cute, or he's not handsome, or he's not successful. I don't care. I don't care. I only have my wife to care about. I'm not trying to marry second, third, or fourth. I just love my wife. She's my Khadija. So I'm good. And if nothing happens to me and my wife, I would rather be single than deal with all this nonsense. So that's the real sad part. If there are successful brothers like myself that are willing to be single than to get married to the type of people out here, that unless that changes, a lot of people are never going to get married. Yeah. Yeah. So whatever we're doing right now is not working, everybody. If it is working, then tell me why you're in the situation you are right now, and why everywhere you're looking left to your right and up and down, a lot of people, no shortage of people, are in the exact same situation as you. What we are doing is not working. And what I'm trying to do is telling us to try the alternative. And because the very fact that I'm coming with alternative ideas, people find that threatening. Because people like to do things, even if it doesn't work, the way they've been doing it. And that's fine. But why do you have to drag the rest of us down with you? Yeah. So I will get labeled for whatever reason. And people hear what they want to hear. Like, they heard the independent stuff, but they didn't hear about the other side when I'm criticizing the brothers for the way they think foolishly. Oh, I didn't hear that part. I only heard the bad part about me. I'm not talking about you. And here's the last part about, I'll say, inshallah. I'm not talking about anyone personally. And at the very end, I'm not an educator. I'm not a YouTube, whatever. I am just a regular brother, just a brother with an opinion, just like you. I have my value of opinion is not worth any more than yours is. I think a lot of people, what they do is they take it personal, and why they create rooms against me and all this other stuff is because if there's truth in what I'm saying, it hurts. If I'm just talking pure nonsense, you just, whatever, it won't bother you. I've had people contact me and said, Brother Ali, I literally couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking about what you were saying. I was tossing and turning. And it really bothered me that much. Well, if all my stuff is just nonsense, why would it bother you that much? The next day, that same sister came and said, I just want to publicly apologize. I agree with you 100% now. I got a chance to think of what you said.
MashaAllah.
I know that sister till today. I have no problem with sisters or brothers. There's a lot of things that brothers are doing wrong, a lot of things that sisters are doing wrong. And until we change the way we're doing things, we're not going to change our situation. And if I'm going to blame sisters, which I'm not, even though it sounds like it, I'm just holding you accountable. If I'm going to blame sisters or blame brothers, it's not going to fix anything. We have to each look at ourselves and what am I doing my part of making this mess, right? And if people are not going to change, I don't care. Let me do my part. I'm going to go get married, leave the rest of these people, whatever nonsense these friends are doing, let them keep doing it. Doesn't matter what all these men are doing, what all these women are doing. You do your part, find your person within all this madness and this craziness, find that one person, get married, get out of this, never think about it again. Leave the rest of these crazy people with themselves. And their nonsense, leave it with themselves. It's not your job to change them, right? We can't change people. You can only focus on yourself and you only have accountable for your own actions, not these people's actions. That's why I don't care what all these men, I don't care what the men are doing. That doesn't matter. I'm not them. And I don't care about all these other sisters. I don't care about my wife. I don't care if these sisters are like this. That's not my problem. These sisters want to make their lives difficult by carrying masculine energy. Go right ahead. But don't make me sit there and worry about me crying because you are living in this dream world. That's you on you. You can cry as much as you want. It has zero effect on me. Now, if something happened to you that's out of your control, actually it does hurt me. I feel sad. But if you're literally shooting yourself in the foot with a gun and you say, my foot hurts, and you say, Baba Ali, don't you feel sad? No, I don't feel sad. You are the one shooting yourself in the foot. It's your own gun. And we're just all watching you like, what is she doing? Why is he shooting himself in his foot?
Awesome stuff. Yeah, I think, my perspective on some of the, that you do sometimes, kind of attract controversy, shall we say, which actually is not a bad thing, right? I think it probably just helps to increase the engagement and the interest in the work that you're doing, but I know that's not your aim at all. I think that it's very much tough love, okay? So you come from a position of love, and whether, some sisters may sometimes get offended, I always say to people that never judge the words, okay? Judge the intention. And the only way you can judge someone's intention is by actually asking them and saying, dear brother, can you please elaborate? I heard you say something. What's happening is that, like Clubhouse, for example, it's a drop-in audio app. So we're not able to express our body language, our emotions like we are here. I can see you, you can see me. And they hear certain words. So they may hear the word like, for example, a sister who's been divorced will hear you saying something like, oh, divorced sisters bring baggage to the next relationship, okay? Now, straight away they get triggered, okay? And they're getting triggered because of the word you use, the word that was uttered, rather than actually taking a step back and saying, actually, hang on, what is he trying to say here? And your record speaks for itself, because the amount of people that have managed to find their soulmate and their ideal partner through your events, right, means that you're doing something right. So I think it's like you're coming from a position of love. And yeah, it is tough love. It's not sugar-coated. But that is what really adds to your value and your kudos, and your appeal. And alhamdulillah, I think may Allah bless you, and you should always be yourself. I think that if you tried to change that in you, it probably wouldn't be it probably wouldn't resonate as much. And I mean, even in this discussion, we're getting, mashallah, some really, really positive engagement. Even from sisters, like Sister Aisha says, I don't think you're biased. You're just saying it like it is, right? That's a sister, okay? And I'm not sure whether Sister Aisha is married or not married, but it's not like it's probably causing a bit of a split in opinions. But generally, I think people are definitely very very positive. Sister Anam, mashallah, thank you for your comments as well. Thank you to all the guys watching as well. I know we didn't really promote this much, so alhamdulillah, we're grateful that we do still have you guys watching and benefiting. Sister Anam says, we also don't hear about about women needing to stop being girls. We're always hearing about men who need to stop being boys a lot. So we need to stop degrading men. So I think that's coming from a sister. That's, mashallah, a very kind of valid point, right? Where I think, sometimes it's a lot easier to try and bash the brothers, and if it's done the other direction, you can kind of attract a lot of negativity, right? A lot of criticism. So kudos.
Chef, one thing that happens when we bash the brothers, what happens, and we don't talk about this very much, is that once you bash brothers, what they do is, and for those who are married, they know how your husband reacts when you if you nag him. What he does to him, he just shuts down. And if he can press an exit button or escape pod, he would.
Yeah, he closes.
Exactly. He just closes off, right? But he's not leaving the room, right? In some circumstances he may, but he's stuck in that marriage. He's going to just listen to it, blah, 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 right? But if he's not married to you, and he's just in the same room or these same topics, and even in today's discussion, well, you know what they do? They just leave the discussion. They just check out of this Facebook live response. So it'll be a bunch of people in an echo chamber talking to the same people who already agree with them. And your situation is never going to change. It just makes you feel better. The only way to change our situation is to communicate with people who think differently. If you guys want these men, these successful men, to marry you, the only way that's going to happen is to get these people in the same room and to hear these same discussions that we're having here. They're not going to be in these rooms when you bash them. Similarly, if I sit here and spend my entire time bashing women, why would any sister ever listen to me? The majority of people who follow me are sisters. Yep. Did you know that? The majority of people who follow me are sisters. So if I hate sisters or I'm bashing sisters, why would they follow me? It's because I'm the one that's trying to do the things a little bit differently. And it's funny, I have a large male audience that follows me. Why will they follow me? Where are all these men? I know a lot of them. Look at my rooms and look how many men look at my thing that says followers and look how many of those happen to be men. Wait a second, this guy's a man looking at married. This one, yeah. So the fact that these men are following me is because they, hey, dude, thank you for being balanced. Because we're just sick and tired of just being punched all the time. I don't want to sit there and listen to being punched. And men are sick and tired of it. And you know what we'll do? We'll check out. And guess who loses? You do, sisters. When all these successful men says, look, I'm not going to provide, I'm not going to protect, I'm not going to do anything, I'll just take care of myself. Who loses in that situation? The person receiving or the person giving?
Yep, absolutely.
We need these providers, these protectors. And then what you're left over with are the ones who are the receivers. Who are these receivers? Men and women who just want to receive. And sisters, to be fair, you should be the receivers, not the men. And the complaint, number one complaint sisters have is these men who want to receive from me. They want me to go out there and do this and this and this. Yeah, this is who you ended up attracting, because all those men who want to give, we just said you are nothing. You're this, you're this, you're this. And the men are like, okay, fine, I'm nothing. See you later. Bye. And they're gone.
Yep.
We have to stop doing this. This blame game is not going to, you're literally going to be stuck in a room and you can look around and everyone is female and the few simps that are agreeing with you, like, yeah, I got your back. And you won't marry any of those guys. So you're like, okay, now what? You feel better, but you literally alienate all those people. Right? So, and similarly, men, if we did the same thing, I wouldn't expect any sister to listen. No, you have to be balanced. Problem is, even when I'm balanced, people say, no, you must be attacking sisters. No, because this is the first time you're hearing sisters being accountable. Look how many rooms, guys, we've done here on Clubhouse. We've done it on Facebook. We've done it in all these rooms. When was the last time sisters were held accountable for things that they specifically do that sisters do? See, every man, universal rule, says that anytime you give a criticization, the slightest criticization to a sister, you must follow up the sentence with, and men do it too. It doesn't matter if men don't do it. You can talk about hijab and men do it. I was at an event on Saturday. They're talking about hijab, and I kid you not, and men's hijab. Men wear hijab? Yes, we have to say that too. Why? Because, obviously to make the sisters feel better. It's not even true. We don't have hijab. What are you talking about? We have aura, navel to the knee cover. What hijab are you talking about? Just to say it, and sisters like, yeah. What are you guys talking about? Like, we just make up stuff. Like I was in a room one day and they were talking about the challenges of sometimes wearing tight clothes. and says like, we should talk about men, the struggles they have about wearing tight clothes for us. Which men have struggled with wearing tight clothes for women? I've never heard this in a brothers. Like, okay, guys, let's have a discussion, brothers. Let's come in. I know some of you are struggling really hard of wearing tight clothes. So tell us, brothers, how you feel about it. Yeah. I'm sure, Coach, you've probably got a lot of clients of brothers who are really struggling with wearing tight clothes.
Oh yeah, people are signing up for sessions with me because they're having struggles putting their Levi's on, you know.
I know what I'm saying, and men do it too. If men has to drop wearing their tight jeans or whatever they're wearing to these days, it can do it like this. It's like this, like literally like this. Sisters is not the easiest challenge for them, right? The outside appearance is more challenging for brothers. While for men, lowering their gaze is a challenge. For women, it's much easier than it is for men. We are differently built. For men, it's easier to not gossip. For women, it's harder to not gossip. We're differently built. It doesn't make one gender better than the other. It's just we're different. This is the narrative that they don't want to push. The narrative is pushed that men and women are the same. They use the word equal, and then they try to go beyond that to say we're the same. And be like, yeah, we're the same. So you come into a marriage situation, you come in with the idea that we're the same. So I'm going to tell the guy or girl that I'm looking for, the one I'm speaking to, what the same things that I would want, because obviously that's what they're attracted to. And they're not. Haven't you guys figured it out by now? Like, how many more courtship phases have to fail to realize that, hey, what I'm doing isn't working? They're not interested the same way I'm interested. They're not interested in the same things. Men are interested in other things. Women are interested in other things. I figured it out in 2001, guys. I figured out way back then. I was like, okay, let me try to figure out what sisters are looking for. Let me try to understand how women think so I can be successful instead of me being stubborn and saying, I'm going to do it my way and women will need to change and women need to think this way. Okay, yeah, you keep doing that. What I said is, I want to understand how women think. I want to understand how women deal with stress differently. I want to understand how I can make my wife happy. How can I be the best? The best of you is the best to his wives, right? So how can you be the best to your wife if you don't understand how wife thinks, how your wife thinks, right? No, they need to think this way. That's our discussions now. Men need to be like this. Women need to be like this. According to you, yeah, you keep changing the physiology and the biology and the human mind, the psychology of men and women. You keep doing that. It hasn't worked out for any of you. And with all these different movements that are bringing from red pill to feminism, tell me how much have you benefited from it? How much closer have you gone to your goals because of all this stuff? Anytime we replace anything with Islam, we will suffer. We will. Any ideas, because everything outside that are man-made ideas. When you take a man-made idea and you replace an Islamic idea, which is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you're expecting success, then you're fooling yourself. You're a loser. You're literally a loser because you replace what Allah has given you with an idea from a human being. So let's take this red pill, feminism, whatever you want to call it. Let's take those ideas and let's remove this part from Islam, that so this one away, and we'll put this in place, and let me see what this does for me. And I've been failing. Well, welcome to the new world, everybody. This is what we're living in. When you don't have Islam and you want to drop it, I'm a convert. Wasn't born with Islam. It wasn't just sitting there and I just as it just hand gifted to me and just given to me like the silver spoon in my mouth. I had to work for it. So when I found it and I suffered for being a non-Muslim and living in a non-Muslim world and dealing with all the ideas that non-Muslims said, oh, do this, it'll make you happy. Do this and it'll give you peace. Make this much money, it'll be you. I did all that nonsense. Didn't make me happy. When I found Islam, subhanAllah, for the first time in my life, I had peace. MashaAllah. So when you have that, this is why it's so much tougher from you to try to convince me to give up Islam and take up these man-made ideas to replace it. Yeah, go ahead. Sell that idea to somebody else. So I needed a wife who was similar, who loved this Deen, who even if the parts that you may disagree with, we still follow it. It's not the only follow the parts of Islam that that benefit me, and the parts I don't feel comfortable with, like I'm supposed to take care of my wife or provide for her, or after she gets to keep her money. Well, I don't think I like that part. How about 50-50? Or for the sisters, you know what? I like the part where my husband takes care of everything, but I don't like the part where I have to listen to what he says. Yeah, I don't like that part. I'm gonna do that. Okay, you guys keep doing your little buffet version of a la carte Islam and let me know how that works out for you. Because what happens is your a la carte Islam, the little bits and pieces that you decide to take, you end up finding a husband and wife who are just like you. But guess what? They find the parts that benefits them, you find the parts that benefits you, and then you have problems. Because it's none of it's Islam, by the way. It's your own version of Islam. It's my Islam. Right? So what I try to do with my wife is we've tried to find the correct Islam. Even the parts that doesn't benefit me, I have to follow. Even the part that doesn't match my desires, I have to follow. If you're angry at your wife and she said something wrong to you, Islamically, what do? It is better to forgive, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive you more on the day of judgment. That's what Islam teaches you. What does the world teach you? Nafsi, nafsi. In this dunya, it's all about take care of yourself. Sisters and brothers who've been divorced, when you go see somebody, psychologist, coach, whoever, therapist, what's the first thing they tell you? It's time to take care of yourself now.
Yeah.
Put yourself first.
Yep.
Me. Now is your time for your journey to find out who you are. Find out who you really are. And all this mumbo jumbo. This is why it's so important to have a coach that's Muslim, a therapist that's Muslim, because they will indoctrinate Islam with advice, not these ideas of these outside of ideas of human beings, where it says all about hyper individualism is all about yourself. Because guess what? If I'm thinking about myself and you're thinking about yourself and this person thinking about themselves and we're about to get married, you can have some very, very selfish people. And that marriage is not going to work. It will not last. I can guarantee you that. You cannot do stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can guarantee, I'll take that back. I can almost guarantee you that Allah knows best. But yeah, it's I would not sign up for that type of thing. And all these people have these ideas. No, thank you. That's why I was very selective on who I chose. And alhamdulillah, the same type of advice I give my friends so they can be successfully married. My first success story is still married till today. 14 years, 3 children. Yeah. We had multiple people working for Half Our Deen that have found their other half using the Half Our Deen process. They've been on Half Our Deen. I mean, how many matrimonial websites have that? You know, it's like, and oh, by the way, one more thing that most people don't know, almost every single Muslim that works for Half Our Deen, almost all of them, happen to be female. If I really dislike women, why do I keep, I just hired another sister just recently. So why would I keep hiring sisters? Most of them are sisters that work from home. If not all, I think almost all of them work from home. Most of them have children. So I really want to support that demographic, right? I want to help those sisters out, have a side income while they help other people get married, inshallah. That's my thing. I don't care what people think of me. I let my actions, I only care about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The rest of people can say whatever they want to say. So I do what I want to do, and I have enough confidence to just ignore everybody. Alhamdulillah, thick skin.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Long may that continue. May Allah bless your work, inshallah. Got a couple of questions there. How are we doing for time, bro?
Yeah, I'm about to need to get going soon, inshallah. I have some stuff coming up, but I want to see if we can do another call, inshallah, in the future too. These are being good, alhamdulillah.
Definitely. I feel like we've covered a lot. We probably covered kind of 3-4 episodes worth of content here. So, mashallah.
Maybe if anyone here has questions, we can take. What we'll do one day is do a Q&A. So we'll do topics that your audience cares about. They throw the questions out, and we'll answer the questions here live. So including some of the questions that may have come today, we can start off with those and make the ball rolling and make the whole thing about what they care about, inshallah. So if there's something relative to them, maybe their journey of looking for their other half, and they're just tired of listening to this advice that hasn't worked for them, they want to try something different, we'll provide them the alternative. Because no matter what I say, take it with a grain of salt. Somebody else will take it with a grain of salt. For me, when I come and listen to it, people, I'm like, okay, tell me your background. Has your advice worked for somebody? Yeah. Has it worked? Has it worked for you? It's like me starting, hey, guys, let me show you guys how to sell real estate. I got to do this. Have you ever sold real estate? Nope. I'm still struggling myself. Okay, then why should I listen to you? Or how to build a restaurant? How to be a successful restaurant? Brother, excuse me? Yes. Do you own a restaurant? Oh, no. Have you worked in a restaurant? No. Do you know anything about restaurants? No, but I have classes about restaurants. How to buy one, how to work one, how to run one successfully and make $1 million. But brother, you don't even own a restaurant. I don't. I never have. So this is what world we live in. I have my record to speak for it. So I've been doing this for almost 12 years. You can listen and you listen to the logic of what I'm saying. If it sounds ridiculous, ignore it. Go to 100 things on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, to listen to. Why sit here and listen to this? But if the things are like, hey, that's actually, yeah, I don't like what he's saying, but it's actually sounds pretty true.
Yeah.
And maybe we should try something different. And maybe if you try something different, you may get different results, inshallah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting the results.
I've been saying it every time on every interview. Yep. And people, and they keep doing it. I don't know what else to say.
Mashallah, mashallah. Let's I think maybe wind it kind of down. Seeing that, mashallah, we've been going for well over an hour, mashallah, hour and 15 minutes. I know you've got a couple of rooms coming up as well on Clubhouse. Yes. Just very briefly, what does the future hold for Baba Ali? What kind of projects are you involved in? What's your vision? Do you have plans in terms of like you want to continue with the matrimonial stuff?
Yeah, that's my goal. I have offers for like other things. People ask me about this. Like I've been in movies. I've been doing this. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 16 years. Alhamdulillah, very successful at it. Doesn't really appeal to me.
You do games as well, right? Shows. Computer games or something? Is it software?
Sorry?
You were into like games and stuff as well? Like, is
yeah, I have mass-produced multiple games, and they all sold out. Alhamdulillah, successful. Not really interested in making any more games. I'm not interested in movies. I'm not interested in all these different things, even though sometimes they come up and I do them. It's just money. Like I work on it as a project, as a second source of income. But when it comes to marriage, I look at it as a completely different thing. That is my baby. The reason why I care, I'm so passionate about it. And this is why if you see me on Clubhouse, and you never see me open a room about stand-up comedy, about Muslim children's videos, how to make videos for zero, about board games. Zero. I have almost 300 board games at home, by the way. I play almost every weekend. Never really talk about it very much at all. Why? Because my passion isn't any of those things. My passion is helping people get married. And this is why you'll never see me like rarely come across a few days that I won't do another room and come up with another activity, come up with something new to help people get married. Like I'm not stuck with the same thing. Like as you know, I have this tolerance activity, I have a marriage list activity, I have a Muslim personality test, I have this, I have all these different things trying to help people find the other half. I do matrimonial events. I don't do any speed dating. I've been trying to do things differently. We had 21 matches in our last event just this past weekend. 35%, I think 35 or 30, yeah, 30 something, 34 or 35% of the people who went to the event, that's almost one out of every 34%. One out of every 3 people who came to the event found a match. One out of every 3. That's incredible. Then we had so many different feedback that's come positive from people. People at the event said, I'm already signed up for your next event. 13 states. People traveled from 13 states. Now, for those who are in the UK, it's not like you have different states. So I just want you to imagine you have an event in London and you have people from Paris, people from Belgium, people from different parts of like they're coming from Spain, they're coming from Switzerland, they're coming from this, they're coming from that, from all different parts of Germany, and they're all coming to a London event. You'll say this is unbelievable because we can't even get locals to come.
It's further because like traveling from one state to another, I mean, from Paris to UK is less than an hour, right? Over on the plane.
Oh yeah, we have 4 hour, like the one brother took a 4-hour flight, took 4 hours flight to come to our. So whatever it takes 4 hours to get to London. So it's like, oh, they're coming from Egypt, for example. I don't know. Yeah. They're just coming from different distances, from different parts of Spain or whatever. The point is that to get a person to take a flight and to get a hotel and to get Uber there, and all this costs a lot of money, plus a registration fee. You have to be extremely different because the locals can't get people to sign up for speed dating. I'm able to get these people who are not even part of this to do something different. So what do? We do things differently. Yeah. So we already, at the event, which was last weekend, already at that time, I think we had 27 already signed up for our next event. So I'm already making the announcement. I'm already signed up. Oh, wow. Okay. So we're doing something different. And by the way, this next one's in California. And these people that were in this event were in Ohio. Again, 4-hour flight. So all the people who are talking to me are flying down from here. It's like, what? So alhamdulillah, on March 5th, we have our last event that's scheduled, confirmed for this year so far. Allahu alam when our next event's gonna be. We know for sure there's nothing until after Ramadan, but that's the only one we have confirmed and scheduled is March 5th. And to the best of my knowledge, we're the only ones in the world that do non-speed dating. So we do things differently. We get different results. The most we've had recently was 61% of the people finding the other half. This last event was only 34%, but even 34%, even 21 matches in one event is extraordinary for any event. For us, is like, we've had 40 matches. That was our highest, I think. 40 or 48. That was our highest ever. So we try and do things differently. It's not guaranteed for everybody. Just because you come doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. But at the very least, hopefully you don't feel awkward because we make it fun. Every activity I designed for you guys, inshallah, and I'm hosting it. So it's Baba Ali doing it from a comedy, better than 2 aunties doing it for you, or 4 aunties doing it. It's a brother who's outgoing, social, and I'm not like tough like I'm here. There's no bashing women or bashing men or any of that kind of stuff. I make the event fun and engaging and interactive, and I'm only there to facilitate and help you guys meet each other in a fun way. Yeah. And I come up with the questions. So Baba Ali style questions to help you guys learn about each other. A lot of people don't know questions to ask. Maybe we'll do a room about that, inshallah.
Yeah, absolutely. Inshallah. We'll definitely try to do a follow-up, and maybe I think the QA is definitely a good inshallah suggestion. Apologies if we couldn't answer some of your questions today. Inshallah, we'll try to address that offline for you. Bro, thank you so much. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless your work. Inshallah, I would maybe one day we could have like a like a virtual matrimonial event. I don't know.
Actually, I've been working. So as you're asking what kind of things you've been working on, one is what can I build that can be done virtually that has never been done before? Not like just brothers and sisters talk like we are talking now, but something that's innovative, something that's different, something that's unique. Not because of all the bells and whistles, because it looks fancy technically and you're just an avatar and your face blinks. No, nothing fancy. No one's going to get married that way. You need to use this tool in a way that has not been used before. And if I can't do something extraordinary, I won't do anything at all. That's how I build my websites, my games. I'm building a game for the sake of building one. I'm not being in a movie for the sake of being in it. It has to be unique. It has to be different. So if I'm going to do matrimonial events, I would never try to do something that's just like everybody else is doing. It needs to be different. Otherwise, I'd rather not do it at all. Because what's the point of me just doing something that everybody's already doing right now, right? So if I was doing any field, no matter what the field is, I would have to look, if I was doing gift wrapping, what can I do that no one has ever done in gift wrapping? Something has to be extraordinary, abnormal. Maybe the gift wrap changes color. Yeah. Maybe the gift wrap does something unique. You touch it, the whole thing changes. It just unravels itself, something. It has to be extraordinary. It can't be the same gift wrapping. So if I'm going to do a matrimony, it has to be different. So I say, if I want to help people get married, I have to find them a different way. So if you guys are asking each other questions, maybe that's what we do our next talk about, inshallah. If it's all about questions, we'll take questions from them. And maybe we do our own questions, the type of questions we ask when you guys are looking to get married. Because I don't ask the kind of questions most of you guys ask. I don't think I've ever asked my wife, do you pray 5 times a day? Do you eat halal meat? I don't remember asking those questions once. Are you a good Muslim? Because what prevents anyone from saying yes? I came up with unique psychological questions that really reveal the answers that I need. And alhamdulillah, helped me find my other half. So I can maybe share those type of questions with you guys. So if you are speaking to somebody right now, even through online or offline, what type of questions to ask, how to understand the psychology of those questions so you can develop your own personal questions and use those questions to filter out the people that don't match with you so you can focus on the people who do. So that's hopefully, maybe that might be a good topic to talk as well.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you once again, bro. Really value your time. Allah bless you, bless your work, inshallah. I hope we can do many more discussions and Q&As and interviews like this, and we can reach, the kind of people from all 4 corners of the world, inshallah. That really is my intention, and I know that's been your intention for a long time. So inshallah, may Allah keep us sincere and do everything for his pleasure, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair, brother.
Thank you. Any closing thoughts before we
No, just keep, guys, I know whatever struggle you're going through, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows about it. This was not by accident. There was no coincidence. Everything that you're going through was planned. Allah knows exactly what was going to happen to you, what test he's going to put you through. And this entire dunya is a test. This specifically for many of you guys who are struggling to get married is a test for you. So the people that are out there that you have to go through to find your spouse are handpicked for you. And every test that Allah puts you through, you can bear that test. There's an ayah in the Quran that talks, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks that He'll never test you with something that you can't pass. So no matter how hard it feels sometimes and you want to give up, and that is the worst thing you can do. Look at the story of Shaitan, for example. At that time, when he didn't listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command with the angels and bow and prostrate, he didn't do it. At that moment, he could have just asked Allah for forgiveness. He knows Allah is the most just, the most forgiving. He didn't do it. What he did is he gave up. We cannot follow the sunnah of Shaitan. When things become difficult or we get some challenge in our life, we just give up. Just because a lot of the people of the opposite gender, men or women, happen to be terrible, especially the ones you've come across, doesn't mean that all men and women are terrible. There are plenty of good people out there. The question is, how much are you willing to put in the effort to go through all this dirt to find that golden gem? And if you're not willing to put the effort in, then maybe you don't deserve to get married. But those who deserve it, maybe they struggled through it, and when you do struggle through it, you appreciate your future spouse, inshallah. And if it was easy for you, maybe you have not appreciated them as much. There's some wisdom that comes through hardship, everybody. We don't understand it when we're going through it, but after you go through it, then you kind of understand why, wow, alhamdulillah, I went through that because it made me a stronger person and made me appreciate. If I didn't take me years to find my spouse, maybe I would just divorce them when we get in our smallest argument. But because I understand how hard it is to find somebody, maybe I think twice, especially in a time where 45% of marriages end in divorce.
Wow.
But what do I know? I'm just a comedian.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Man of many talents.
I'm a board game guy.
MashaAllah.
So anyways, just some things to think about, inshallah.
Inshallah, definitely food for thought. Some real nuggets have been shared, inshallah, and hopefully, inshallah, stay in touch, guys. Inshallah, we'll be in touch with further discussions, interviews, not just with Brother Ali, but other, inshallah, experts in specifically around the area of relationships. So inshallah, yeah, keep it locked. If you want to connect with Brother Ali, you have the Half Hour Deen portal. MashaAllah, they have presence on all the social media platforms. You can, MashaAllah, I believe there's like is there a questionnaire on your website or something which people can use in terms of, you mentioned about the questions we should ask, and I think there's some resources on your website, isn't there, which people can use?
Yeah, so what happened on our website, we do have some questions. When they come to our live events, it's actually on their phone. So when they go on their phone, it actually appears on their phone. It says, here's 84 Baba Ali's questions that he would ask, the tough questions. The questions, by the way, that you're like, oh, where did he come up? This is a very tough questions. It starts off very light. Yeah. Tell me something you're passionate about. Tell me this and that, like just to get them talking, right? And then you start getting tougher. Tell me about your friends. Tell me about your friendship. And you ask tough questions about friends. And then you start asking questions about them, things that they didn't think about, like politics. Do you look at politics as an opportunity for change or illusion for choice? Right? So it's just different mindsets of different things. No right or wrong answers. And you get tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher until question 84. Give me one reason why I shouldn't marry you. Wow. Yeah, my questions are not easy, but there's psychology behind that question. That question has nothing to do with me marrying you, by the way. That question is a question that a lot of sisters ask about, but they don't know how to gauge it. What is the thing that often sisters ask about? Honesty. I want to marry a husband who's honest. I want to be looking for honest. And I ask him, how are you gauging that? I just ask him if you're honest. Okay, how's that working out for you? So I'm like, are you an honest person? Yes. Okay, then sounds good to me. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Yeah. A liar will tell you he's honest. Instead, you ask a question like, give me one reason why I shouldn't marry you. And the very fact that he's open and he's telling you something shows the level of honesty. That's how you get honesty. Yep. See, yeah, it has to be creative in your question asking. Yep. So maybe, inshallah, in our next talk, we'll talk about this creativity, including that question, and talk about how to ask certain questions and what those questions are really asking. They're not asking about, oh, give me an excuse not to marry you. You're really asking, how honest are you? So tell me something honest about yourself. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Food for thought. Excellent. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone, inshallah, who joined us on the live. And thank you to those, inshallah, who will no doubt be watching
replay, and inshallah, please keep us in your du'as, inshallah, and plenty more of where this came from, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay. Jazakumullah khairan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.